All right, and welcome to another exciting edition of Double D with Double D. Oh, I forgot to turn off my own phone. This is Day Drinking with Ed, and these are little impromptu streams that I basically do sometimes when I have a day off, which I have a day off. So we're doing some day drinking. I'm sure most of you are watching this video after the fact because I don't really do these with a lot of pre allowance for people to find out about it. So we're just we're here together, whether you're in the future or not. Glad to have you. Christina says it's not day drinking if it's in the afternoon. I don't know if that's true. So I got to get up. I got to start drinking at 11 for it to be considered day drinking. Is that how it works? Oh, well, thank you, Christina. I appreciate it. Originally, I was thinking I was going to put out the history of old fits today. I was thinking I was going to do that. But I want to work a little bit more on that video. So I don't know if that's going to come out this afternoon or if I'm going to do a little bit more work on that in the run up to our stream on Thursday, so we can have a good video for that. I want to take my time, make sure that has the quality it deserves. So we'll see. That may be coming out this afternoon. It may not be, depending on what's going on. But we're talking about New Riff today. So this is actually the first time we've had New Riff on the channel. We recently got New Riff in at my store. It was in Wisconsin for a minute, but it was only at Total Wine. Total Wine, I don't know how Total Wine gets to just pick up certain things and just have it exclusively there, or why distributors make it so hard for smaller shops to get it. No idea. It's weird. I don't care for it. I'm sure if you've watched the channel, you know my position on Total Wine. Since I work at a small family-run store, you probably know how I feel about Total Wine. But yeah, we've got it at our store now. I'm excited. And we've got the ryes. So we also do have the bourbons. So we've got New Riff Bottled and Bond Rye right here. We've got the New Riff Single Barrel right here. And we've also got the New Riff Bottled and Bond Bourbon and the New Riff Single Barrel. But I'm going to save these to do with Erica, because she's such a bourbon lover. We're going to wait to drink those until Erica can be with us. Today, since I love rye and Erica hates rye, I figured I'm just going to do some rye. I'm going to drink some rye right quick. Ben says, what is New Riff? New Riff is not the old Riff. It's a newer Riff. Bourbon or American single malt. So they've got their bourbons, they've got the bourbons, and then they also have ryes. So yeah, and then I believe they also have, I think they're working on some malted rye as well, which is fun. Not a lot of people are doing just a straight up malted rye. She would have been very mad at me if I made her drink rye. Yeah, so New Riff is probably one of the newest distilleries down in Kentucky. The newest ones with products, their own distillate in the market. I think it's the Lewis family down in Newport, Kentucky. I think they were actually they've owned a liquor store or some sort of retail location first, and then started the distillery. And so I think they're making everything bottled and bond, which is kind of fun. And then they're also doing no chill filtration, which is also really cool. These particular ones, I know they were doing MGP source stuff up until I think 2015 approximately-ish. Or actually, I don't know if that's when stuff got released or if that's when they just put their first stuff down. Either way, this stuff was distilled in 2016 and bottled fall of 2020. So both of these were fall of 2020 releases. Oh, had Lot 40 for the first time last week? Man, I love Lot 40. What'd you think of it, Ben? Hey, Mr. Whiskey Shits. How you doing, my good dude? Good to see you. And they use non-GMO corn. Me, I like genetically modified stuff. I want my mutant corn. I want mutant corn and mutant cows. Give me it grown straight from a laboratory. But yeah, let's get into this. Let's get into the bottle and bond first. Then we'll get into the single barrel rye. Obviously, bottle and bond, 50% alcohol, minimum of 4 years old, 1 distilling season. So yeah, I was just talking about this at work with somebody, and they were saying, what's the point of bottled and bond, at this point in history? The reasons they created the Bottled and Bond Act back in 1897 really aren't pertinent anymore. No one's really worried about ersatz moonshine and getting sick off stuff. The government's getting its tax money, so do we really need bottled and bond? But the thing is, bottled and bond, in a good distillery who wants to use a bottled and bond as another expression and another opportunity to do something weird and cool, bottled and bond can be a really awesome opportunity to do that. They can change up what they're doing, make a new expression, make something different, or it's just a guarantee of quality, even to this day. I think it is fun because it does combine aspects of like a higher proof with like that, a single distilling season kind of thing. So if you want to do it like kind of like a mixture of a single barrel / cast strength thing, but neither, not as dramatic as either of those, it kind of works that way. Otherwise, you just make a higher proof, more consistent product, and that's good quality. So yeah, I think bottled and bond still means something to this day. Anyway, let's take a sniff right quick. Cheap way, cheap food, cheap drinks. Oh, you did like Lot 40. You need to warm up on rye. Very interesting. Black licorice, aniseed, or eucalyptus notes. Yeah, you'll find that depending on the rye. Depending on if you're drinking like Northeast rye or Kentucky rye or like Wisconsin rye, there's different levels of spiciness. In this case, this is 95% rye, 5% malted rye. That's fun. Most people do malted barley for the last 5% in the MGP style. These guys are doing 5% malted rye, which I like. David, the rye is sour mash too. I believe all of the products are sour mash. Everything. Yep, everything's sour mash. There's not a lot of people doing sweet mash. The only one I can think of off the top of my head is Wallersheim here in Wisconsin. I know they do sweet mash. I think pretty much everybody else in the world does sour mash. I mean, I'm sure someone else does, but I don't know them. But I know New Riff was doing something fun with their sour mash where they were adding peated backset to it. So I really wanted to get some of those bottles, but we never saw them here in Wisconsin. Hey, Tom Tenney really likes the New Riff B&B. We'll see. Okay, I got to talk about this a little bit more. On the first sniff is actually pretty inviting. I like the first sniff. We did take the neck pours off of these, so I did have a little bit of a first impression already. But I never judge a whiskey by the neck pour. Yeah, this is pretty cinnamony, a little minty actually, a little spearmint, kind of a spearmint and chocolate kind of thing. Like one of those little mini spearmint and chocolate bars. There's also a touch of, I don't think it's not quite black licorice, but there's something a little bit more of like a bitter note there. Kind of a bitter old school candy note. Do I want to be part of $1 million experiment? I'll be the $6 man. I'm gonna be the $6 man. And whenever I jump, it'll make that sound, the sound, whenever you jumped. Yes, Spencer, these are just the regular new riffs. Yeah, these are the first time we're having them on the show. We just got them in at the store. So I'm going to find out what I think about them. All right, let's get a taste. Okay. I dig that. I dig that a lot. Oh my God. Jason Busey, what are you doing? What are you doing throwing down $25 on an impromptu day drinking stream? Jason, you generous, crazy man. You crazy dude. I love you. Goramaga, thank you, my dude. You really love New Riff. Okay, perfect. Yeah, okay, first taste on this, really enjoyable. I'm getting that cinnamon. I'm getting that paprika. I'm getting a little bit of a vegetal note. What is that? Yeah, that finish is really good. That finish has a floral thing with a little bit of cinnamon. Kind of like it tastes like a cinnamon roll. A cinnamon roll that also somehow tastes a little bit like how a dandelion smells, I guess. I don't know if that makes any sense. Woo! Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I do. I've got a few. We used to go to PAX every year up until, just recently. Yeah, I love PAX. I miss PAX. I miss going to PAX. We would always go out and fly out to Seattle. We got a friend who lives out there. Oh, are they? I feel like I've seen that bottle, but I don't remember quite what it looks like. I do love the design on this bottle. It's a really cool bottle. Like the fade into the black, just super cool. Kind of like orange rolls. I've never had an orange roll, but that sounds right. Yeah. You've never had rye? Oh no, David, I'm so sorry. Yeah, $60 is pretty heavy for rye. Man, yeah, we can get I think these cost me $39.45, I think. Yeah, no, that is pretty heavy. Not too much, don't worry. You're just in time, Mr. Steak. I like this a lot. I do. I will say maybe the only thing I don't like about it, it's got the pepper. It's got the allspice. It's got the cinnamon. It's got a little bit of like a minty thing. It's got that kind of the touch of the bitter, just a touch of the bitter. I dig it. The only thing, it's a little sweet on the entrance. I will say that. I'm wondering what the barrel entry proof on this was, because it's interesting looking at this. Obviously, bottle and bond, 50%. Our single barrel proof version over here is at 51.75. That's pretty low for a barrel proof. So either it lost a lot of alcohol while it was aging, or they put it in at a pretty low barrel proof, or barrel entry proof, I should say. So I'm wondering if they did that intentionally, put it in a pretty low barrel entry proof in order to get more wood sugar, because I feel like I am getting a lot of that kind of wood sugary caramelness on the front end, which more wood sugar than I would expect for a 4-year-old. Hey, drink some Michter's Rye. That is Erica's favorite rye. Erica loves Michter's Rye. Pretty much the only rye she will drink. Sugar Kitty, what's going on? Yes, we are day drinking again. I've got the day off, so we're day drinking. It happens. Christina, you've only had like one or two? I mean, I get it. We know where your proclivities lie. I get it. I don't blame you. Man, really? That's crazy. I did not know that. That's nuts. I'm sorry, dude. Ben. As my dear Aunt Helene used to tell everyone she met, I'm not that Irish. If you haven't heard that story before, my wonderful old Irish Aunt Helene used to tell people that when she would introduce me to folks. She'd be like, "This is Ed O'Mara Stillwell. He's not even that Irish." She always insisted on using the Stillwell portion, even though I don't use that in my name. My name is Ed O'Mara. I never use Stillwell. She insisted, though. She wanted to remind everyone that I'm half Protestant. All right. Let's get into this single barrel. Yeah, I think there are some peated ryes. I know we were saying New Riff did that peated backset rye, so that sounds pretty cool. Obviously there's more peated bourbons out there right now than peated rye, but I'd be interesting to see what that would be like. Jason. What was I going to say? I don't remember. Oh, Spencer's saying 110 or 115 barrel entry proof. Okay, that is relatively low. That is pretty low compared to like 62.5. I mean, it's not crazy low, but yeah, that's enough to draw out a lot of wood sugar rather than tannic stuff. Hey, the Ardolinos are in. Good to see you, Ardolinos. Yes, Bubble Bath. Also, everyone go subscribe to Bubble Bath. If you haven't already, go do that. Go do that right now. If we have a wrench in the chat, help me out. Peated wheat would also be pretty cool. I would drink a peated wheat for sure. For sure. Bye, Christina. Thank you for stopping by. Having some PBR. There you go. I mean, if you're day drinking, you might as well go with something that's basically water. All right. Okay, let's try this single barrel. So, right, single barrel on this one, barrel proof, only slightly stronger than their Bowden Bond version. Only slightly. 1.75% higher than the Bowden Bond. So they must not have to proof the Bowden Bond down very much at all. Which is actually not a bad thing if you think about it. That's one nice thing about a lower barrel entry proof is that you're aging the water along with your whiskey at the same time. So you're actually, if you want to proof it down afterwards, you are, adding less just unflavored water. You've already got whiskey flavored water in there, so to speak. But obviously you could always just release it at cask strength and at a high barrel entry proof and avoid both issues. So, I'll see you later, Jason. Thank you so much for stopping by, and thank you so much for your wonderful, wonderful super chat. I did not expect that. Yes, stay rotten. Hey, hi, Floyd. I know a lot of people have things to do. I understand. Most people don't have today off. I do, though, so we're drinking. All right. Getting more mint on this one. Yeah, more mint. I didn't, that's the funny thing. Maybe it's just because I associate mint with sweeter flavors, and maybe I tend to drink a lot more of the really tannic dry ryes that I don't find mint as much. But these ones have some mint on them. Yeah, and that cinnamon. Is this? No, this isn't clove. What is this? Allspice, maybe? A little bit of allspice? I'm leaning spearmint. I'm leaning spearmint on these guys. Although, wait, hold on. Let me compare these two, because it is a little different. This is interesting. This is the BIB seems a little bit more caramely cinnamony. Maybe a little bit more spearminty. The single barrel, though, is a little bit more peppery. kind of a pepperminty thing. Yeah. Just a little bit. Just a little bit. Ha sugar kitty. Some of them have to go do shit. Love it. Erica would say every day is a good day for Lafroig 10. All right, let's get a taste. Ooh. Okay. I'm digging this. I'm digging this. A lot of pepper. That peppermint, it's both black pepper and peppermint. Some caramel, some vanilla. There's those sweeter notes again, which is not my favorite, but it's not overly sweet. It's not painfully sweet. But it is a little bit. There's some wood sugariness there. It's not like a really drying, just suck all the moisture out of your mouth rye. Oh, that's another one you're looking for? Spearmint? Yeah. I like spearmint well enough. I like mint juleps. I think mint goes great in whiskey. So if your whiskey already has it in there, it's just a benefit. Mateo, what's going on? Thank you for joining us. LaPrint, I don't think I've seen you in here before. Thank you so much for stopping by. Old Forester, Dad's Hat, or Old Overholt. BIB, I assume that means. You can only buy one. What do you choose? Ooh, good choice. Good choices. You know, I'm actually kind of leaning Old Forester because it's such a weird, fun, kind of florally interesting rye. Dad's Hat, I like Dad's Hat. Dad's Hat comes off as very, like, salted chocolatey to me, which isn't bad. And it's got pepper, it's got, like, spice, but it's very, like, a spiced chocolate. And that can be good, but not all the time. I don't know. It's not my daily drinker. I have to be in a certain mood for it. So Old Overholt, BIB, or Old Forester? Oh, that's a tough choice. I feel like Old Overholt leans more into those traditional rye notes I really like, but Old Forester has some really cool, weird floral notes that you just don't get with other ryes. I guess I'm going to go Old Forester. Yes, good day for Wee Beastie. Every day is our big day. You just missed Christina Van Ness, so she would love to hear that. Yeah, I figured it was BIB. Oh, yeah, just got the Lafroig 10 cask strength. That is, Erica loves that stuff. She keeps it in the other room with her stuff. It's very much her bottle. She has gone through so many bottles of Lafroig 10 cask strength. It is nuts. But yeah. There's an interesting thing on here. It reminds me of like, wait, hold on. I gotta see if I'm smelling what I think I smell. I'm getting like a slight, like almost a soapy thing. Like, you know how, what's it called? Saponification, when things get a little bit soapy. I'm getting that a little bit, but it's not, I don't know if it's that or if it's like a red berry kind of thing. It's not bad though. I like it. It's not a bad note. You hear that note and you're like, oh, that's going to be nasty, but this is actually pretty good. Yeah, and actually, I'm getting a little bit of fig now. There's a bready fig Newton kind of thing here. The only thing I will say with these guys is that I'm not getting a lot of that really big stone fruit thing that you get with rye. I confuse red berries and soap all the time. I know, that's a weird thing to say, isn't it? I know red berries don't actually taste or smell like fruit, but like that's kind of that's the two things it made me think of. When are we going to get an Ardbeg 10 cask strength? Probably never. They're too busy releasing. They're too busy releasing, you know, weird finishing, which is fine. I got no problem with that. And Wee Beastie is kind of a replacement, isn't it? Yeah. Vegetal, figgy. Doesn't have the really big stone fruitiness, like that peachio note that I really like. But still, this is pretty good. I think I might like the Bottle and Bond just a little bit better. Has a little bit less of that wood sugary carameliness. So that's kind of nice. I don't like a lot of big wood sugar in my rye. I want it to be more dry. So kind of liking the BIB a little bit better. Although I've heard that there is a ton of crazy like variation amongst the New Riff single barrels. I've heard some of them run super dry, some of them run super fruity, some of them are tannic, like they're all over the place. So I don't necessarily know if this particular one is a good indication of what the rest of the New Riff single barrels are going to be like. I think it'd be fun to check that out. Sugar Kitty is saying the only good use for cranberries is soap. Wow, you're talking to a Wisconsinite. You know, we like farm all the cranberries in the world. That's our thing, right? My old man makes cranberry fluff every year for Thanksgiving. That's like a big part. And cranberry sauce and all that. Yeah, it's a big part of our diet. I am one of those people, Crafty God. Yes, I do get a soapy taste from cilantro. However, I don't dislike it, which sounds weird. I don't hate that soapy taste. I eat cilantro all the time, and it tastes a little bit like soap to me, but I don't hate it. So, yeah, whatever. Me and my old man too, he gets a soapy thing from cilantro as well. But it doesn't stop me from eating it. So, Dustin, what's going on, Dustin? Good to see you. He's saying there is a big variance in single barrels. Good to know. And you can get a flight at the distillery and they're way different. That's kind of fun. I appreciate that. I appreciate when there's a big difference between single barrels. It gives you a chance to play around, see what different stuff is happening. I dig that. That's awesome. And Bubble Beth is saying he would cry if he had the cilantro soap, Gene. I'm sorry, dude. I mean, I'm not sorry you don't have it, but I would feel bad for you if you did have it. I'm picturing like you just being very sad about it, and then I feel bad. Okay, we are coming up on a half hour of streaming. I wanted to keep this short because it's just an impromptu thing. First impressions on the new Riff Rye, though. I like it. I think I like the Bottle and Bond a little bit better than this particular single barrel. I think this particular single barrel runs a little bit sweeter than I care for. But yeah, I like the BIB. Even though there is some sugariness there, it's still hitting the notes I really like. We're going to have to see what's up with the bourbon. Me and Erica will come back and see what's up with the bourbon sometime, because we also have those. But so far, not bad. Pretty good stuff overall. I'm excited to see what they do with the malted rye. I'm very excited to see what happens with that malted rye. That could get really, really funky and weird. And I like that. I like a really funky, weird rye. So that'll be cool to see. What's the retail? Around here, this one I think ran for 40. This one was 55. No, 45. Somewhere around 50. Yes, Dustin says 50-ish. Austin McLoves. What other rye would I prefer over this stuff? Actually, there's a couple, and for different reasons. Balcones rye, I think, is amazing. Probably over this, just because it's so freaky. That is like eating a Mexican lollipop covered in bitter dark chocolate. That's awesome. I was going to say also Driftless Glen Rye. Really love Driftless Glen. They've got a super dilly, peppery rye. Love that stuff. Although that's a little bit harder to find, depending on where you're at. I'm trying to think what else. Actually, there are some lower shelf ryes, like some of the old Overholts. I might like better like in a cocktail because they have a little bit more punch to them. I don't know if I necessarily would drink them neat compared to this though. Depends on what I'm feeling. Really, I have not found a rye with a cilantro flavor, but that would make sense. Maybe that's why I'm getting a little bit of a soapy thing. That is actually a good call. That's a really interesting thing. Maybe I am getting a little soap because it's cilantro and it doesn't. Yeah, good call, Crafty. I like that. Tom Tenney says his BIB is better than the single barrels. Yeah, if there's that much variance, I'm sure that happens all the time. All right, so I am going to call it a day. First impressions of New Riff, pretty good. Pretty damn good. So until next time, I'm going to mix these two together. I have a lot of time off this week. So it's the like least busy season for liquor stores right now. January is dead for liquor stores. So I have a lot of time off. I may be doing a couple more of these day drinking streams this week. We'll see. I may even put them up ahead of time so people actually know they're happening and can come watch. Or I'll just do them impromptu like I did this one. So yeah. And one last thing. Two last things. David Geshka says Sazerac rye is supposed to be terrible. Sazerac isn't terrible. It's not my favorite. I think it's a little too smooth and easygoing. There's not a lot of spice there. There's not a lot of pepper. It's kind of just too caramely for me. But some people like it. And it's not undrinkable. It's not undrinkable. It's just not amazing. So, yeah. And then Mateo, last comment, and then I gotta go. I do like Young Ryes. What do you think of Ezra Brooks? I like Ezra Brooks. Yeah, I do like Ezra Brooks. Yeah, that is an MGP. I do like Ezra Brooks. I think out of like the regular old base Ezra Brooks line, the rye is probably the most solid. So, all right, I'm gonna call it a day. Thank you everyone so much for stopping by for this little impromptu day drinking session. We're going to have some videos coming up tomorrow about the Old Fitz and Stitzel Weller. If you're not already subscribed, please do, because you're going to want to know when we're going live on Thursday. We're giving away samples of from a bottle of Old Fitz Stitzel Weller bourbon from like 1966, between 1966 and 1970. So go make sure you subscribe so you can be part of that giveaway. I'm excited for that. We're gonna bust that open on stream. It's gonna be really cool. So until next time, everybody out there, stay safe, stay healthy, and stay rotten. Cheers.